Gordon.
But you don't know how long they're back for, right?
Anthony Davis always hurt.
Always hurt.
I'm gonna change his chair. These stools are actually pretty nice, so we ended up grabbing them last year. Yeah, last year when we did the Christmas thing, we had like 5 or 6 guys here. I think you were here for it too. The Christmas one, were you?
I'm pretty sure. Well, that's the thing, when we have a ton of people here, there just isn't enough space for everybody, right?
It's not even space, it's 2 with the talking. Like I think 4 is a good number.
Then it depends on the what we have going for the most part.
And then what? After every game, I'll ask you for your pick on the game too. Like we kept track last year. I remember I went 5 for 5 and I threw it in everybody's face the week after.
Yeah, that's right, you did do that.
Because I had OKC beating the Spurs on Christmas last year too. Lamar, your last name Grant, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. Alright. Welcome back to On the Block. We're here for our Christmas special. I'm here with Lamar Grant, Igor Henriquez. We're gonna start off with game 1 right now with New Orleans Pelicans. They're going to Miami. And guys, disappointing season so far for the Pelicans. Anthony Davis, been hurt for I guess half of it. We talked about that. Eric Gordon, Tyreek Evans always hurt. How do you guys think this game's gonna shape up?
Well, if Davis is playing, there's always a chance. He gets triple doubles all the time. Well, he's not doing he's not doing as well as he did last year. But obviously he's been injured. I don't even know how many games he's played this year. But he hurt his ankle, he hurt his knee, shoulder
Probably. Yeah.
In the short season. He's hurt all 3, which has been a problem for him before. So if I had to choose, I'm going with Miami in this game.
I would probably take Miami in this game too. Anthony Davis is the difference maker for sure, but I like the way the Heat are playing. I think Hassan Whiteside's doing big things for them. Healthy Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. I think a lot of people thought he was going to slow down a lot more than he has. But they're doing well in the East. I think there will be like a top 3, top 4 seed in the East, and the way that the Pelicans have been playing, you can't really see them beating Miami in Miami, but. Again, I think Miami's been a surprise, and the Pelicans have been a disappointment. So I'm going to take Miami in that game.
It's tough because, like you were saying, last year Anthony Davis was playing at an MVP kind of level. But with Miami, they just have so much depth. With Justice Winslow, too, coming off the bench, a guy who's been pretty nice. And Dwayne Wade's having this renaissance season, starting to dunk over people every once in a while, showing flashes of a young Lamar Grant in the gym.
Miami's a good team. I like them. It's a lot of pieces that are just coming together this year, so it's not like a
Dragic
team.
too.
Yeah, it's not like a team. I don't like the way Dragic is playing right now.
Yeah.
But their team looks put together, but it's not. I thought they would be much worse than they are right now. They're playing well.
They're playing well.
They're playing well for sure, and their team is coming together quicker than I thought. Normally, when you put pieces together like that, it takes about even half a season. But they're coming together, so I'm gonna see if it's just. This is what they are right now, or they're going to get better. We'll see in February, see if they go to another level. If not, or if Dragic can get on board, they can definitely go to another level. So Whiteside is always good. Like you said, he's a very good player, very good. And we'll see how they all play.
Yeah, now that Chalmers is gone, he's not taking the last shots.
Yeah.
They're a lot better off. Simple as that.
I like Miami a lot. I think they're going to do some things. I just have a feeling that New Orleans is going to bring it on this day. And it's going to be nice to see maybe Whiteside or Bosh battle with Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know I'm taking the
Upset
Pelicans
special,
on the upset
upset
right
special.
now. I got the
Upset
Pelicans.
special.
All right, let's go to game 2 right now. We have Chicago at home. And actually, sorry, on the road. They're going to OKC.
Yeah.
OKC is clicking right now. Kevin Durant had a nasty cross yesterday.
Yes,
That was beautiful. He's back.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook always playing at a high level. And Coach Donovan doing a really good job with this team.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know how they were going to adjust with the new coach, but with I guess maybe they seem to get worse every year since they had James Harden, at least in my opinion. And this year they look very good and maybe ready for a title run. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't go for title run right now. I think there's some pieces I don't like. Deion Waiters, I don't think he fits there. Hopefully they could do something. The team that they had before, even like when you have a good team, when you even take a small piece out like Cephalosha, when you take a piece like that, things can really drop. Even if you have a lot of firepower, it can't be just Durant and Westbrook scoring 30 apiece, and then Ibaka have his little blocks and stuff. It has to be a team. So when those two are hot, they can turn anything around. But team-wise, I don't see them having a strong enough team to beat Cavs or Golden State or
Spurs
Spurs
or
for
anybody
sure.
like
Exactly,
that, yeah.
Spurs. So, but they can get hot at any time. So they could for this game. But Chicago just lost 2 straight. I know they don't want to lose again. I have to say, I'll go OKC then. I'll go OKC.
Chicago's had some problems for sure with Fred Hoiberg. We talked about having his first year,
Yeah.
and they went from a defensive team with Tom Thibodeau, one of the best coaches in the league.
Mhm.
They let go because they couldn't get to the title. But like I always say, if you lose a top tier coach like that, not very often, you replace him with someone better. And we're seeing that right now. You went from a defensive team built for the playoffs, and now they're going to running gun, and it's not really working out too well. Like, sure, they have a good record, but can you see this team doing much in the playoffs with the kind of defense that they're playing?
I mean, if you look at some of the teams in the East, I mean, they're not a bad team. Like if you match them up against, let's say the Raptors, for example, or I mean, the Cavs are still the class of the East. I can still see Chicago giving a lot of teams trouble. The Hoiberg system with the offensive approach is obviously much different than Thibodeau's, but it was always going to take them a while to get used to the system, obviously. To me, it's a lot of reliance is still on Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose isn't the player he was 2-3 years ago. Let's all be honest here.
Mhm.
His legs are in a bad state. He's not shooting well. Jimmy Butler, for them has been a better player. So again, do you have to maybe scale back on Derrick Rose's minutes and then the amount of shots that he takes, likely to make the team better? Or maybe Rose has like a Dwayne Wade kind of renaissance the rest of the year, but it's unlikely. The OKC teams, I disagree because I think when Durant starts, he's starting to play games. If he stays healthy, he's a complete difference maker. And if you put him up against like a Golden State team or a San Antonio team, do they have a legitimate shot of beating them? I think they do because you have a nice 2-tier team with Ibaka, with a couple other pieces. They'll match up against anybody in the West when they're healthy. That's the key. When they're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets injured again or there's an issue with Westbrook, the team is on a steadily decline. That's why they didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But if you're going to ask me, who am I comfortable with in terms of if I see a seeding, like those 3 teams to me are the class of the West. And it's like 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, Golden State's been amazing. San Antonio's been amazing for what they've got. But will the Spurs, once the season gets longer, will the age start coming in? And will Golden State get tired because of what they were doing earlier in the season? It's still a lot of balancing act. But for this game, I am taking OKC because again, I think Chicago's got their issues. At home, they're tough to beat. I'm sticking with OKC over there.
I have OKC too. I think that with Kevin Durant, you have maybe the best player in the world, if not probably the second best player in the world behind LeBron when he's at 100%
No
and
love
playing
for
with
Steph,
some kind of
huh?
ambition.
No love for Steph.
I got love for Steph. You guys know I have love for Steph. But I think, and he does big things in the playoffs. We saw last year he hit that game winner, the overtime shot over Anthony Davis. Remember that one in the corner when he jumped all over him? But we all know that Kevin Durant can even bring it on both sides of the ball. He's not the best defender. His length alone and to stay in front of guys is tough. And Russell Westbrook, I know you love him.
Yes.
And he brings it every night. And I see Kobe Bryant in him with the aggressiveness and the mentality, the ambition. And I like OKC a lot in this game. And I think that Chicago is going to have, to be honest, a disappointing year in terms of not maybe getting past the second round of the playoffs. But speaking of the heavyweight bout that we have now, we have Cleveland, rematch of the finals. We have Cleveland going to Golden State. And I know that J.R. Smith wanted Golden State to be undefeated so they could take them down in the Christmas Day game. That's not going to happen. But they still have a pretty decent shot at getting some revenge at Golden State on Christmas Day. How do you guys see this one?
I'm going for Golden State. 100%. That's who I feel. Even though Kyrie, he said he tweeted that he's back.
He's supposed to play today.
Yeah. So he should be playing, but when you haven't been playing and it's a knee injury, I don't know if his quickness is going to be the same to stay with Curry. So I like teams. Obviously you have to have a powerhouse guy with the team. Like a lot of teams, like Boston, to me is a good team, but they don't have that guy who could score 20 in a quarter or hit that game-winning shot. That's all they're missing to me. So Golden State has those pieces, and they just seem together. I never see them panicking, even when they're losing. And Cleveland, they're going to be coming because they have the better record. They think that they're the best team in the NBA, and obviously by the record, Golden State's the best team. So they're going to be hungry to beat them, but Golden State knows that they're hungry. So it should be a good game. But to me, if we're going all the talent, I have to
Warriors?
go Golden State. Yeah, I really do.
Igor.
Well, again, I got to go with Golden State simply on the fact that I think they'd still be unbeaten if Klay Thompson hadn't got hurt. The Bucks game, again, it was like last game of a 7-game road trip. Nobody's ever done that where they've swept all 7 games on a road trip. They came real close. And I think had Klay actually been playing, they probably would have done that. Cleveland, with Kyrie when he's back at full health, will be a problem if this does in fact be the NBA Finals matchup once again, which it
Probably will.
probably will be. It looks likely that it will be. I just think that the way that Steph is playing, the way that Klay's playing, Draymond Green's playing out of his mind. Some of the other guys are, Iguodala has his games, Festus Ezeli. I like, again, a team kind of approach, and that's what they
not
have.
a weakness. They have no weakness, really.
If the game was in Cleveland, I would probably give Cleveland a better shot, but I just don't see them winning in California. In the way,
Well, they have no losses this year. I think last year they only had 2 losses.
I think it's tough to beat them at home.
Mhm.
So I would say it's going to be a good game. Would it have been better if Golden State was still like undefeated? Sure.
Even
But
more,
I mean,
yeah.
J.R. West talks a lot, but like, how much of a factor was he really going to be? That's all. Let's be real here. If LeBron didn't have a good game there.
And LeBron's going to bring it too.
Mhm.
Because he had that series he had in the finals was incredible. One for the
sure.
ages. Michael Jordan numbers.
That would not have been close without LeBron.
That's the
That's
thing. And then you have Kyrie. You add Kyrie in there. I remember you only played, a game and a half or something like that. But in the first game, I think Curry went for that layup to tie or something, and Kyrie swatted it away.
Yeah.
He played some decent defense on him. Like you said, it's going to be tough first couple of games back.
Yeah.
But
Upset special. I'm
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm torn. Huh?
You going for Cleveland?
To be honest, I think that Golden State's going to win on a 1-possession game. I think it's going to come down to Golden State by 2 or something like that. I can't see any team winning by more than a point. I think it's really going to come down to the last shot of the game. I want to take Cleveland really bad, but I'm going to go with Golden State just because one game.
I have a question for you guys though. For Cleveland, do you feel okay? I know that if you add a good player to a team, the team obviously elevates. But the way that they're playing, it's not like everybody can score 100 points. So all because Kyrie Irving is coming back, he still has to work with what they're doing. So if he's taking shots, that takes away from somebody else's shots. So are they necessarily automatically just going to get better and beat Golden State, who's been playing wonderfully together? Even when they missed pieces, Barnes got hurt, they still were doing well. Klay did leave, but he came back. But and a real important part is Klay can score a lot of points, and he seems to be comfortable knowing that Curry's the guy taking these shots. I don't see any fighting for the ball. Like sometimes Thompson will take like 10 shots in a game, 11 shots, and he's hitting like 7 for 11. He could have took more threes. So it seems like they know their roles when someone's hot. Curry, when Thompson went out for 27, Curry knows, okay, this is his game. Cleveland, I don't really see that. Obviously, anyone will defer to LeBron, of course, but when Kyrie Irving comes back, he can score 50 if he wants, if he's healthy, of course. Yeah. So what's gonna, do you feel that they're gonna get better just because he's the better player?
See, I think that with him back, they're missing that floor general. That, I mean, a lot of the possession goes to LeBron. I think LeBron at this point, does he want the ball in his hands? He does, but if he's got other pieces, it just makes him a better player because they can't focus on him as much. Because when you have Kyrie, when you have Kevin Love,
you
can't really cheat on him as much as they did in the finals, for example. Because realistically, LeBron carried that. I mean, who did he have? He had Shumpert, he had J.R. Smith. He really had you focus on LeBron, and you saw that during the last few games is that they started focusing on him a lot more, making the other guys take shots. And Dellavedova had a couple great games, but then when he started getting cold, the series went down the drain at the end of the day. So by having Kyrie out there, it gives them another impact player
and a great shooter.
So you gotta devise a different kind of game plan. So that's what he does when he's healthy. They have that legitimate three guys where on any given day that they can go off. It makes them a much harder team to plan for and play against. So it's a much more difficult situation for anybody playing them, especially in the East when there really isn't anyone in the East I would say has the capabilities of really controlling them when they're all healthy.
I was going to say too about Golden State. Shumpert was a big part. Klay Thompson did not have a good finals last year, and I think Shumpert was the reason. And you see teams like the Spurs and Golden State, they're healthy right now. And Cleveland, I think, is a team on the mend. All their guys are slowly starting to come back. They didn't have Love in the finals either. So you're without Love and you're without Kyrie, right? Those are two all NBA kind of guys that you're missing on the team, and two shooters that'll space the floor for them. So I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be tough. But like we said, going to this game, it's going to be tough. Even Cleveland, who's the next best team in the league, to go into Golden State to win, but it wouldn't be far fetched.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other 3 games and get you set for the Christmas Day games when we return on the block. I think that was less than 20, so that's good.
You got three games. You got San Antonio, LA Clippers. Which one are you missing?